Welcome to this Windows channel, and this is the quick look and review of the latest build of the Fall Creators Update. We are at build 16237. It was released yesterday. Took an awful long time to install itself, so I didn't really have any time to review it and have it working long enough to really test its stability. So I've had a few issues with the install process on the home machine, but finally went through. As for the Pro one, worked flawlessly, except that it was extremely long. What is new in the Fall Creators Update, for those that wonder? First of all, in Microsoft Edge, there's a few improvements for PDF with the read out loud feature. For web users, you'll be able to read out loud any web page with word and line highlighting. So that's one of the things that is brand new. So even a web page, you can have PDF read aloud, which means that you can also have your PDFs read to you and choose and highlight parts of the PDF and have it working flawlessly. With the feedback that you've received, one of the things that they have done is when you actually use the share options in the Microsoft Edge browser, it now shares with the same theme. The share UI has now been actually adjusted so that it actually follows if you're in the dark theme or not, and it looks like what it is. When you had a favorite, you'll get a animation now that indicates the user can find their most important websites in the future. So for example, let's check it out here. Let's do this, and here we go. Google and favorites, and yep, there's a little animation if you guys have seen. Let's do another one here. Let's say I want to add say a website that I don't have in my favorites. Here goes. It's a website for radio. So you see here, I click. It says what I'm doing. I can save where I want. There are folders also. And when I click add, look at the top here on the upper right, you will see a little animation of the adding of a favorite. They fixed an issue where copying double byte characters, for example Japanese or Chinese, in Microsoft Edge and pasting into another app wouldn't show the characters correctly. They fixed also issues with Edge from a previous flight, where opening links in a new tab might cause a new window to open with the link instead. Fixed issues with also printing, the print dialog that might be empty, things like that. Fixed issues with Microsoft Edge context menu. What else do we have? Windows Shell improvements, so no more logging out to fix blurry desktop apps. If you've had that problems when you are using desktop apps or programs, sometimes they might get blurry. You had to log out of your account, then log back in for the DPI related settings to actually display correctly. So if you had that, and especially on certain specific screens like 4K displays and some very high DPI displays, this is something that they've also fixed. Notifications and Action Center improvements. They've adjusted the notification button to span, as they say, to span across the bottom of the notification rather than being just justified. So it can actually move out, and depending on what you have the different buttons that show up, like you can snooze notifications, stuff like that, which is very interesting. And you actually have, I should have kept that notification screen that I had when I actually started, because it really looks nice. They've really tweaked the notification to be a little better. And in response to feedback, the X to dismiss notification being confusing, they've added an arrow to make it more clear that the notification is actually being pushed to the Action Center. They also fixed issues with if you received 20 notifications from a specific app, then received more. There was a problem with the shell expansion host would start crashing repeatedly. Apart from that, My People improvement. Now in My People, there's of course notification badges that are changed. So when you get notifications with the My People experience, they are different. So pinned, when you pin people to the taskbar, will now consistently show up with the color and theme that you have in the rest of the system. Emoji panel turns it up a notch, so more emoji stuff. And if you wonder what some of the emojis might mean, so what the heck is this emoji supposed to be, wonder no more. If you hover your mouse over any emojis in the emoji panel, you will now see a little pop-up. So let's just check it out here. Let's go to let's put tablet mode here, and let's get the emojis in here. So I'm gonna check it out right here. So let's get emojis and stuff. Here we go. So now when you actually hover over an emoji, you're supposed to have information about what it is. So here I hover my mouse. Still doesn't seem to give me information about it though. It would seem that there are information if you hover your mouse over the emoji panel. So I don't see it here. I'm checking it out, but maybe not implemented everywhere. Improved touch keyboard experience. If you have a touch device, they've made it a little better with the shortcuts that you can use to actually do some of the texting when you are trying to actually do something. Trying to basically tweak the keyboard, the touch keyboard, to make it better. Handwriting panel also has improved. Better recognition of your handwriting and transferring that to a plain text, for example, for an app. So if you use inking, for example, they're really trying to improve all of that. Gaming experience change apparently, so let's check it out. If you look at the game bar, they've updated the game mode icon on the game bar. So if we try the game bar, here we go. Yep, here it is. There's some new little things here. Turn on game mode is right here. They've changed and tweaked the game bar, as you see here. Also, they've tweaked the task manager. Last build we told you there was a new feature in the task manager where you could see your GPU, and of course it wasn't kind of complete yet. There were some things that were missing, and it didn't always work well. It will now ignore when you don't have a compatible GPU. Instead of showing nothing, it's just not going to be there. So they've tweaked that to make sure that it works, and the different performance levels of the GPUs will actually reflect more of what it is. So for example, here got no information because this is a basic driver of my GPU. If I'd have a more interesting GPU, if I'd had something in hardware that's more interesting, then I would have more information. They've updated the UI also to add details about what DirectX version and the physical location of your GPU. Only hardware GPUs show up in the list now. So these are a few changes. They've done some, of course, Hyper-V improvements. If you are in the virtual machine stuff, they've made it a little better to actually interact in Hyper-V. One of the things that I did have as a problem in here, and it's not on all of my machines, I've noticed that my home insider build machine is okay, but my pro machine, this one that I'm using and making the video with right now, actually has a problem popping up, the Action Center. At some point it stops working, and if I click, it just doesn't do anything. I have to restart my PC in order to for this to work. So maybe some of you will have that as a problem. If you do, well, you're not alone. I've got that, but not on all my machines. My home machine doesn't do it. My home machine seems to be okay. They fixed a ton of things. So if you look at the latest post, you'll see a lot of stuff that will happen. And also they have been fixing many little bugs that people reported since many builds ago that were like going from build to build. So there's a few things to know. There are some known issues as usual. So people tested and submitted feedback on the Cortana vision features, including Cortana, the camera roll insights in Cortana Lasso. They're no longer available in the Insider Preview builds going forward. Also, they are still investigating the problem with the battery status not being okay. So if you're one of those, they still are working on trying to find out why. Depending on the third-party firewall product, you might have the Windows Defender Security Center showing an unexpected state. So there's kind of interactions with third-party firewalls and Windows. Reset this PC and keep my files will fail at 1%. So that is something to know. Apps that call into the firewall, such as Microsoft Edge and other apps that use networking, may become unresponsive until you reboot. They know there's a problem there, so if you have some things like that, it will possibly happen. And they're still investigating on reports of copy link option displayed in Edge when you right click or hyperlink isn't working in recent builds. So that's pretty much, not that much new stuff, very much more tweaking of the system than anything else as we are moving forward with the latest builds, of course, of Windows 10. So hope you enjoyed a quick look here at what we have in this build. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, let us know. Hope you enjoy our videos. Please give us thumbs up if you do.